we have a great lineup for you, and I'm going to start out with our first guest. Our first guest is a host on WTKK 96.9 FM here in Boston. You're probably familiar with it. He's a political activist and a stand-up comedian. He's been on the talk radio circuit since 1998. He's done stints in South Carolina and Washington, D.C. He's authored the book, Redneck Nation, How the South Won the War, and I'm very interested to hear about that. He's appeared on The Bill Maher Show. He's Real Time. He's been on The O'Reilly Factor, Hardball with Chris Matthews, and Fox and Friends. Our next guest has been a panelist on local television shows in Washington, D.C. Since 2005, he has actually been a drive-time radio host on George Hook's show, The Right Hook, in Ireland. Very popular man on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. In 2005, he joined WTKK, and his show, The Natural Truth, now airs from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big warm welcome to Michael Graham.
I am Michael Graham. Thank you. And I am one pissed off taxpayer. You know, when I got the call from Carla, in fact, let me do, first of all, where's my beer? First, what happened? Whoa. You promised me beer and smokes, man. You're not backing out on me. When I first got the call from Carla Howe to do this, I was very, very excited. Let's right now have a round of applause for all the volunteers in the yellow t-shirts who make this happen, who are out fighting for you. To quote a woman who's never been proud of America before and thinks your souls are broken, you can't go back to your ordinary lives. I won't let you. I appreciate you guys. When they called me and said, what are you going to talk about? Are you going to write a speech? I said, are you kidding me? This is Massachusetts. The speeches write themselves. I pick up the Boston Globe Democrat today, and there's a story in the front page. Oh, you think you're going to cut back on the ridiculous police detail program? I don't think so. The union thugs will follow you to the pothole to make sure that we get our money. You see that news story? They chased the guys away. I mean, so this is not a government anymore unless you consider the Vito Corleone family a government. You stand up and say, hey, I'm a taxpayer. Could I get government to run like a business? Could I keep some of my own money? Could we have standards and reasons here? And what you get back is, oh, Mr. Tony the Snake says he doesn't like what you got to say there. We're going to learn the new Massachusetts state motto. I can translate it from the original Italian. It says, get in the trunk. That is the message from state government to you. Get in the trunk, do what you're told, and if you fight us, we will literally send people with guns to try to stop you from fighting for reason and common sense. That's why you have got to fight. Now, no, please, look, if you do that, if you clap every time you're mad, we'll just clap the whole time, and so let's not do that. Carla Howe has put together some smart and rational people who can explain to you the math and the budget, etc. But before the smart and rational people begin, she asked me, to show up and do whatever it is I do. So I'm not going to talk about the math. I am going to talk about the mad, about why I am sick and tired of having people say that we are the problem. Jim Browdy, who I love, Jim Browdy, I work with him. No, I do really like working with him because I love the fact that someone who is mentally challenged can still go out every day and make it. I'm kidding. I love Jim, I do. He's a great guy. He's just wrong. He said, yeah, Michael Graham's going to go over and talk to all the nuts over at Faneuil Hall. That would be you if you hadn't noticed. All these nuts, so what do you think? You think that the money you earn by working so hard is yours? What do you think, that the government's supposed to do what you tell it to do? What kind of crazy concepts do you believe in? Consent of the governed and representation and physical... What are you, nuts? Yes, we are nuts. We are nuts the same way that the people who taught me these ideas are nuts. The same way that Sam Adams was a nut, John Adams was a nut, Thomas Jefferson was a nut, Alexander Hamilton was a nut, and you know what? You know, and if they understood anything about history, they would have figured out, it turns out in 1776, the nuts were right. And we are right. And we are doing the right thing. Now, I know it's hard to explain history to folks on the left. You know, their favorite moment in history was when President Roosevelt addressed America on television in 1929. So I heard a certain candidate for Vice President of the United States say the other day that he thought America's most impressive military achievement was defeating the Confederate Air Force in 1864. So trying to explain history to these people is difficult to do. But the nuts were right because they were making an argument. And I know every time you go out and tell your friends and neighbors, we got to vote to repeal the income tax. We've got to vote to repeal the income tax. Their reaction, that makes no sense. That's crazy talk. That makes no sense. Do you ever notice that the thing they don't do is make an argument, is lay out facts? And that is because, and I please hope our friends in the media are here today, and we're so glad to have you here. It's amazing you could take time away from, you know, hagiography for Barack Obama to come join us, but I appreciate that. I'm surprised. Shouldn't you be trashing Sarah Palin for being a cannibal right now? Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? But I hope that they will do the job of asking the people who say, I should keep giving my money to the geniuses at Beacon Hill. I wish to ask them to defend that item. The premise is that we should go to the same people who have shafted us again and again and again and again and give them more money because that makes sense. Well, I assume it can make sense. You know how you make giving Beacon Hill more money make sense? You have to pass question 2, the pot smoking item. Then if you get stoned, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna give Sal DeMacy some more cash, yeah. But if you're stone cold sober, you have to be insane to vote no to question 1. You have to be nuts to say, I'm gonna keep giving these idiots more money. I just don't, how do you defend that idea? The only way to defend that idea is to say that what we've got right now is working, and it's not. Here's what I love, for example, perfect example. I live out in Metro West because I love the idea of paying ridiculously high income taxes, ridiculously high gas taxes, and then paying $7 a day for the privilege to drive on a road. Even hookers treat you better than that, you know? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You give the hooker the $50, she doesn't go, oh, you wanted sex, so that'll be another 25. What? I'm paying my gas taxes, I'm paying my income taxes. Oh, you want to drive on the roads? Not only is the Massachusetts Turnpike Authority broke, not only is it leaking money everywhere, not only is it providing hack jobs to pals of the Beacon Hill, but we have the Highway Department and the MBTA all sitting around doing other stuff too. Why do you have 3 of these? You know why I have 3 of these? Because Sal DeMacy has 3 cousins. They all need jobs.